Hi there, thank you so much for stopping by today. My name is Luann and this is Heart-Filled Kitchen. On this channel, if you're new here, you're going to find plenty of food, kitchen, and pantry motivation. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit of everything. I'm going to bring you along with me as I do some of my weekly food prep, and then I'm going to give you a garden tour. I'll also give you a sneak peek on something else we've been working on. Glad that you're here with me today. I'm going to be sharing a few odd and end things that I do around the kitchen on a weekly basis. It's not a meal prep video, it's just a food prep video. The weekend is starting tomorrow, and so every week I like to go ahead and have some bacon on hand and a few other breakfast items just to get ahead of the game. But before we get into all that, let's go ahead and head outside so that I can share with you my May garden update. Okay, so here is my latest garden update. As you can see, we've added a few things since I showed it last time. We put in a lattice wall so that all of our honey vegetables will have somewhere to grow, and then we also added a piece of lattice to the fence. Let's take a closer look. Now, as far as the garden goes, as you can see here, my yellow squash are not doing very good at all. It's as if their growth is stunted, but looking a little closer, I'm starting to get some new leaves, and the first original leaves are kind of dying off, so I'm not going to give up on them yet, but they definitely haven't been doing very good. This one over here, hardly any hope for it at all. But in the front here, in this bed, I have the 3 yellow squash, and then I have 3 more over here, and all of them are just about the same. Now across the back, I have some cucumber plants, and they're not doing too bad. Now this is in the heat of the day, so everything looks a little droopy and sad, but I do water these every day, and they perk up almost instantly, but I'm not going to water in the heat of the day. I'm always fearful that that will just burn them completely up. Here in the front is my pepper plant. I just have this one little banana pepper, and it's doing really good. I already have 2 peppers on there. That one is ready to be picked. And my marigolds also are not doing too good. So I'm probably going to end up pulling up the yellow squash and trying something different. All of these plants were store-bought. None of these are from seed. And if you go back and look at my fall garden, that was all from seed, and everything did great. So I don't know if that makes a difference, but definitely not very encouraging when you look at the yellow squash. Now, another thing that has happened since my last update is my parsley is seeding. I was going to cut it back, I just didn't get to it in time, and this is the result. And I'm actually going to leave it that way for a while because there are 7 caterpillars in there that I'm hoping are going to become beautiful butterflies. So I'm not going to disturb those right now. Right below that is my basil plant that I just planted this year, and it also is seeding, so I'll probably go ahead and just pinch that back. And now let's go over here. Let me show you a plant that I'm very excited about, and that is my blueberry bush. There's tons of little blueberries already on here, and they are starting to turn. Now, I did learn planting blueberries that they require an acidic soil, so I bought a bag of peat and just mixed it 50-50 with regular potting soil. So hopefully that's going to do good. And now for an update on my tomatoes. This first one here on the end is from the farmer's market. Actually, all of my tomato plants were bought at the farmer's market with the exception of one. And this it just says a large cherry tomato, and I already have some tomatoes on it, several of them, so I'm pleased with the way this one is progressing. The one beside that is a Cherokee Purple. I also have one started on it and several blooms. And the one in the middle is called a Lemon Boy. This is the one that I bought at H-E-B. Here's the card on it. And I have several blooms, but no tomatoes yet. Well, actually, yes. There's a little one starting right here. Moving on down, this fourth one is a Celebrity. No blooms and no tomatoes yet. I have pruned all of these. And then the last one here is my Better Boy. Thank you to all of you that helped me figure out what this was, because I could not read the writing on that little pot there, but it is definitely a Better Boy. Let's see, I believe, yes, in the back, I have a little tomato going on that one. So that is my tomato update. Here are my green onions. I just take, these started from the grocery store. I buy them, I cut off the ends, stick them in a glass of water in the sink until the roots get very established, then I just bring it out here and stick it in the dirt. These I have cut back many, many times, and they just keep reproducing, which is good because we do use a lot of green onions. I'm not too crazy about yellow onions and sweet onions, but I will definitely use a lot of green onions. Moving on down here, here is my one little strawberry plant. I wish I would have got more. I haven't grown strawberries before, so I was a little hesitant and only bought one. And so far I've ate maybe 4 strawberries off of this little plant. So my plans on the back side of this lattice wall is to put in like a 1 foot wide box and do some planting down through there, maybe some shadier items. But as you can see, quite a bit of sun comes through here in the mid part of the day, but it does become shady after about 4 hours of sunlight. So anyway, I also have gained all of this vertical room for planting, as well as over there on the fence I might put some herb boxes if the tomatoes, you know, once they go. So that is my mid-May garden update. Before I go inside, I just wanted to show you that we did get our pool up and running for the summer. I'm so excited about that because it gets so unbearably hot here in the heat of the summer, and you definitely need a way to cool off. And if you look way back there in the back, you're going to see another little project that we've been working on. And I will definitely share details with you as soon as we're finished. And I'm sure you can already figure out what it's going to be. And I am super excited about it. I also wanted to show you my sweet potato slips. There's probably about 6 or 7 in there right now. And I'm going to give them probably, I might work on it this weekend. Today's Thursday. Maybe Saturday or Sunday. My plan is to put these in 5-gallon buckets. Okay, it's time to get busy in the kitchen, and the first item on my list of things to prep are my berries. The first thing that I do with my berries is to soak them in a vinegar and water solution. I use 1 part vinegar to 3 parts water and soak them for 10 minutes. After they're through soaking, be sure to rinse them. This is a natural solution that can be used to clean all of your fruits and vegetables. The vinegar solution extends the shelf life by killing bacteria, and it also removes most of the surface dirt. Once they're rinsed, dry your fruit and berries on a cooling rack. This provides better airflow and faster drying. Okay, while the berries are drying, I'm going to go ahead and get started on some fried apples. Today I'm just using 4 small Gala apples, and of course the first step is just to wash and peel the apples. The peeler and other items that I'll be using in this video can be found in my Amazon store that I'll be sure to link down below. Next, you're just going to slice and core the apples. And then cut all of the apples into smaller bite-sized pieces. Now I've grabbed my heavy bottom saucepan and a jar of ghee. Now you can heat oil with butter or just use the ghee like what I like to use. We're going to heat it on medium-high heat. And once that's heated and melted, we're going to place the apples in the pan with a little bit of salt. Fry those apples until they begin to brown and soften. Now while those are browning, I just wanted to add a little tip here. If you have wooden utensils or wooden cutting boards, then the best thing to use to get those clean is just a good soft bristled brush and some mild soap. And always remember, you never want to put these items in your dishwasher. It gets them so clean and they look brand new. Okay, so now let's head back over to the stove and check on those apples. I believe that they are soft enough to move on to the next step, and that's going to be to add some brown sugar. Now this is going to depend on how sweet you like yours and how many apples you're using. I added about 1/2 cup of brown sugar to my 4 little apples. Once you have the brown sugar stirred through the apples, go ahead and turn the temperature down to low and continue to cook. Now meanwhile, I've been baking some bacon at 400 degrees for 12 minutes. This is so easy, it makes perfect strips and so much less mess. And for all of you that like to save your grease, there's still plenty of grease to save. Now to store this bacon, I wrap it in a fresh paper towel and store it in a bag or an airtight container in the refrigerator. Now let's head back and check on those apples, and I think we're ready to finish. Let's give them a good stir, and then we're going to add some cinnamon. This is just like the brown sugar. You can add it to your desired taste. And this, you can tell I like a lot of cinnamon. I probably added around 1 tablespoon. Give that a good stir, and then the next thing we're going to add is about 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Once the vanilla is added, go ahead and turn your stove off and remove your apples from the heat. Give it a real good stir. And the final thing that we're going to do is just store those apples in an airtight container in the refrigerator. These apples can be used as a side dish, ice cream topping, or over warm, hot buttered biscuits. Now I'll be storing mine, so I like to add an extra pat of butter on top. You can serve these immediately, or you can put them in the refrigerator like I mentioned before, but if you do, you'll need to reheat it in the saucepan to re-thicken the sauce. Now that the apples are finished, let's head on over and take care of those berries. The way that I like to store my berries is just to place them in a paper towel lined glass airtight container in the refrigerator. Now, of course, you can store your berries in a mason jar and they'll keep just as well. Just remember, don't keep them too long or they'll start to ferment. And we certainly don't want that to happen. Well, I sure hope that you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. And if you missed last month's garden update, I'm going to go ahead and link it here so that you can check that out. Well, thanks again, and I look so forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.